Hello and welcome to SIGO'S This and That. My name is SIGO. In this video, Mngomezulu expertly grilled Magistrate Vivienne Cronje, shedding light on her failure to attach crucial documents, such as lawyer Mjiyako's appointment certificate and Fidelity Fund Certificate, FFC, to Ntanzi's confession statement. Cronje counter-argued, claiming that Ntanzi himself confirmed the presence of his legal representative, described as a gentleman in a suit. However, Mngomezulu revealed that Ntanzi denies having a lawyer and even expressed unfamiliarity with Mjiyako. Find out more about the perplexing Senzo Meyiwa murder case as we delve into the controversy surrounding Ntanzi's confession statement. Watch now to get all the details.
Vrywillig en ongedwonge te maak. Woorde tot daai effek. Hierdie vorm het dit nie. Ek is ook nie bewus van 'n statutêre vorm wat dit het.
Okay. You've specifically asked me with regards to the words freely and voluntarily. And this particular form doesn't contain or have those words. And I know of no statutory form that contains those words, or those two words. Ungibuzileke mayelana lamagama amabili ngokukhulekile nokuthi futhi ke awuphoqiwe awekho lawo magama lana ayikho neform futhi engiyaziyo enawo.
And I would actually appreciate to answer me as a witness, not as a magistrate. As a witness that has been sworn in. My question is,
Mr. Mngomezulu, she's a magistrate.
yes, my lord, that cannot change.
You're saying she must answer you not as a magistrate. She is a magistrate.
She is a magistrate,
Yes.
my lord. That cannot change.
Yeah, that's
But she must. I'll make an example of Nelson Mandela, my lord. He was a witness in the matter of Louis Late. He has never been addressed as a president of the country at that time. There must be a distinction between your position and as being sworn in as a witness.
Yeah.
Hence,
Sorry, you may have a point.
she can easily say, advocate. I mean, she's inviting me to draw such conclusions.
No.
As I'm requesting the court for the protection of this witness, as the duty of the court, she must understand that where she is seated, she is a witness.
Yes.
The evidence that she's going to, I'm talking about parole evidence here. That's the oral evidence that you're giving. What you did outside is an extrinsic evidence. We are trying to follow the extrinsic evidence, whether you complied with it. You're the witness to say that. Hence, if I'm saying get into the answers, the wording, let's look at paragraph 1A, for instance. Can you please read it for me?
I inform the deponent that I am a magistrate.
Thank you. Stop there. Thank you. I just want to go through the wording.
Mazisileke loyo oyephambi kwami ukuthi ngiyimantshi.
What were you expecting from the deponent if you, that forms tell the deponent that you are the magistrate? What does it say?
Meneer,
Was it necessary for that form to say, I'm the magistrate?
Natuurlik moet die man weet vir wie hy verskyn. Hy behoort te weet in watter omstandighede hy hom bevind, waarheen hy gevat is, voor wie hy verskyn, met wie hy praat.
Yes, of course he had to know before whom was he appearing, the circumstances under which he was or he found himself in. Kwakumele ukuthi azike ukuthi uphambi kobani ukuthi futhi nesimo ke ayengaphansi kwaso.
The introduction in the presence of an attorney, your introduction in the presence of the attorney, was that not sufficient enough for him to believe that you are a magistrate?
Meneer, op daai stadium het ek nog nie vir enige iemand gesê dat ek 'n landros is nie. Niemand sou geweet het dat ek 'n landros is nie. Ek het nie 'n toga aan nie. Ek's in siviele drag en ek's in 'n kantoor.
At that stage, sir, I hadn't informed anyone that I was a magistrate. No one knew. I wasn't wearing my gown or my robe, and I was in my civilian clothing, and I was in an office.
That
Ngaleso
means-
sikhathi leso-ke akekho umuntu engangimtshela ukuthi ngiyimantshi, ngangagqokile-ke igawuni noma irobe yami yokuthi ngiyimantshi, ngigqoke nje iy'ngubo zami-ke futhi ngisehhovisi.
Hierdie man het gevra om na 'n hof toe gevat te word. Hy word in 'n kantoor ingevat met 'n persoon met siviele drag.
This gentleman requested to go to court, or this gentleman requested to be taken to court. He is then taken into an office with a person who is in civilian clothing.
Can I-
Umuntu lona wacela ukuthi athathwe asiwe enkantolo.
Can we
Usuya-
not? Sorry, sir.
Usuyangena ke manje ungena kwihhovisi elinomuntu oyigqokele nje ingubo zakhe.
I'm asking you, Mrs. Cronje, do not involve or say something that is not asked. My question is, before you completed, there are particulars of the deponent on top there, which you got from either the lawyer or the deponent or the investigating officer. Do you understand?
Ja, ek verstaan wat jy sê.
Yes, I understand what you say.
My question is it, according to the paragraph 1A, was it necessary to mention that you are a magistrate?
Natuurlijk.
Does that not
Of course.
constitute inducement?
Nee.
No.
I'll leave it for argument. My submission and I'll put it to you that pro forma on its own, it has on a face value of it. We call it a patent defect. It has an element of inducement. If you say I'm a magistrate, that means already you sway the impulse of the deponent. Do you agree?
Nee.
No.
Thank you. I'll leave it for argument. Proceed. I'll stop you wherever I want you to stop. Proceed with that paragraph. You said I'm the magistrate, comma.
And I'm not in any way involved in the
Thank you.
investigation.
Thank
Futhi ke
you.
angisiyona-ke ingxenye yophenyo.
He did not ask. You are telling him. You are making him comfortable, according to, am I right? I'm a magistrate. I'm not involved in the investigation. You are making the deponent comfortable. Is that not so?
Dit sal die effek hê.
That will have that effect. Yes. Yebo ke lokho ukuthi ngimtshela ukuthi angisiyona magistrate, asole ngiyi-magistrate, futhi ke angisiyona ingxenye yophenyo. Into ke leyo engamenza ke ukuthi ke naye ke abesena akhululekile.
Hy het ook 'n reg om te weet hoekom hy daar is.
He also has a right. Sorry.
Waar ek inpas.
Also has or had a right to know as to why he was there and where do I fit in.
don't
Futhi
answer-
wayenelungelo lokwazi ke ukuthi ngiyubani mina ke nokuthi kungani elaphayana nokuthi mina ke ngihlanganiswa yini nalokho.
Don't get emotional, ma'am. Answer my question as I ask you. Because I followed the logic. If you say I made him comfortable, I'm satisfied. There's a next question to follow. Do you understand?
I don't know what is the basis for saying the witness is getting emotional. I think if my learned friend can just confine himself just to asking questions without taking the witness.
My Lord, when I'm asking the question from the witness and tends to say things which do not relate to my question, as it has been indicated, that is a magistrate. He is actually getting out of the scope of the profession. Hence, I just want to confine the magistrate or the witness, not the magistrate, the witness on the line of questioning, because I've got the reason to stick on that paragraph 1A.
Sorry, Mr. Mngomezulu, I don't wish to interfere. Doesn't Section 217 speak of a magistrate who can take a confession?
It speaks about the magistrate.
Yes.
That's
and
correct.
she is approached by her senior, Mrs. Duplessis, as a magistrate to go and take a confession. It's just egregious that she happens to be a witness, but she is also a magistrate. And she, when she was told, asked or requested by Mrs. Duplessis to take a confession, she was being instructed to do or requested to do so as a magistrate, as stipulated in Section 217 of the Constitution.
Thank you.
I mean, of
May
the
I-
Criminal
may-
Procedure Act.
May I clarify that?
Yes, okay.
The reason why I want to clarify is because we are running away from the part, the element of inducement. A provision specifically say it must be made before the magistrate. It does not introduce the magistrate to the taking of the confession. I'm not sure if you understand,
No, I
but
don't.
I said I want to leave it for argument.
Yeah.
May I repeat what I was submitting before the
Yes.
Lordship?
Yeah. Okay.
My Lordship is that Section 217 says it must be taken, is directing us that such a particular confession must be taken by a magistrate.
Yes.
But now, you are the magistrate, you've got the forms from Mrs. Duplessis, everyone, especially in the presence of an attorney. She should have actually introduced herself to say, I'm the attorney, I'm the magistrate who's coming to take a confession. I was told that I must come and assist in the taking of a confession. Now, my concern is about the patent defect that is on that pro forma. Because
Okay.
when you introduce yourself in a statement where he must freely make a statement, there's no point that she was supposed to say, I'm a magistrate.
What should she have said?
A statement,
According to you.
according to me, a statement must have been narrated immediately to say, on this particular day, this is what I've done.
No, the question, no. What would you have said? Because you say she was not supposed to have said, I am a magistrate. Now I'm just inquiring, what should she have said?
Meaning, my Lord, must I correct the pro forma according to the...
No, I'm just asking you because you're saying...
My Lord, I've never conducted a confession, and I'm not empowered by any law to do it. So I cannot think of a word that I can use when I'm taking a confession. I'm a lay person when it comes to that. A person with 50 years confession that she has made, they don't see the element of inducement in that paragraph A. Because all that the deponent was going to say is because he believed, and I'm not done with that paragraph. May I still proceed with that paragraph? Can we continue to read that paragraph, ma'am?
That I do not work with the police or any other person in this case, and that he can speak freely and without fear in my presence.
Nokuthi ke angisebenzi namaphoyisa noma ke imuphi omunye umuntu kuleli cala leli nokuthi ke angakhuluma ke ngokukhululekile angesabi ngikhona.
Thank you. The wording, you can speak. Do you agree that is not coming from the deponent?
I've never claimed that it came from him.
Angikaze ngisho ukuthi leli gama ke ukuthi ungakhuluma ukuthi libuya kuyena.
But you directed, in terms of that wording, you directed the deponent to speak because you told him that you are not a police officer, you are not part of the investigation, you are a magistrate. But you further say you can. Do you understand what I'm saying?
He had a choice to speak or not to speak. It was his choice.
Ukuthi ke akhulume angakhulumi kwakuyena lokho.
So what is the next? What was the answer given by the deponent there? It's handwritten, if I'm not mistaken. After that paragraph, after paragraph 1A.
There is no answer given by the deponent at that point in time because I continued to explain to him paragraph B and C before I asked him if he understood the explanation.
Ayikho impendulo awayinikeza ke ngaleso sikhathi leso ke ngoba ngaqhubeka ke ngayo paragraph C B kanye no paragraph C ngaphambili kokuthi ngimbuze ke ingaba uyezwa ke lokhu engiqeda ukuchaza.
Let's hear what paragraph B says.
You also informed that if necessary you will be afforded protection against any irregularities.
Thank you, stop there. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Futhi nokuthi atshelwe ke noma ke watshelwa ke ukuthi uma isidingo sikhona ke uzovikelwa noma uzonikezwa ke ukuvikeleka kuko nakuphi ke okungahambi kahle.
Is that not a promise? Is that not a promise? I'm asking, is that not a promise?
It may be construed as a promise that he needs to, if he feels threatened, that arrangements will be made for his
I'm
protection.
still there, ma'am. Don't go further than that. I ask you
Do you
to
want me
stop.
do you want me to interpret for your client, sir?
No, I wanted to
But
stop.
she still I need to interpret what she says. It's for your client, sir. Please allow me to. Lana ke ungasho ke ungachaza lokho ukuthi yebo isona isithembiso lesi ngokuthi uyatshelwa ke uma kuukuthi uzizwa ngathi ke ukhona ke noma ke uyesaba ukuthi ke amalungiselelo azokwenziwa ke ukuthi avikeleke.
I ended where you said he will be protected and you considered that it amounts to a promise.
Hy is nie gesê dat hy will be protected nie. He was informed, and I quote, if necessary, he will be afforded protection against any irregularities.
Lana ke kuchazwa ke ukuthi uma noma ke uma isidingo sikhona ke uzothi uqinisekiswe ke ukuthi uyavikeleka.
Did you explain what kind of irregularities you were referring to?
Nee,
No, angishongo ke ukuthi uma ngikhuluma ngokuthi ke uma kuukuthi kukhona ke ongazange kwenziwe kahle noma kuhamba kahle ukuthi ngangishoni ngangikhuluma ngani.
Did you establish whether the deponent understood what you meant by irregularities?
nie op daai stadium nie.
Not at that stage. Ngaleso sikhathi ke angishongo ke noma ke ngiqinisekiseke ukuthi uyezwa ke noma uyazwisisa yini ukuthi ngisho ukuthini uma ngikhuluma ngokungalongo ngokungenziwanga kahle noma ngokungahambanga kahle.
To put it on record, what irregularities were you referring to?
Enige iets.
Anything.
Enige beïnvloeding, enige dreigemente, enige iets wat gebeur het.
Nee.
Want dit kan enige iets wees wat uit sy oogpunt onreëlmatig is.
And I was referring to anything, any influence, any threats that were made, anything that could, in his eyes or in his view, could have then been an irregularity. I
Dis
was
nie aan
referring
hom
to.
verduidelik wat dit is van my kant af nie, want ek wou hom nie beïnvloed het daaroor nie. So as hy ongelukkig was oor enige iets, dan sou hy dit vir my gesê het.
It was not explained to him at that stage as to what irregularity is. If there was anything, then he would have informed me or told me about it.
Hy moes wel geweet het dat hy mense vertroue kon neem om enige probleme wat hy gehad het, enigiets wat hy beskou het as 'n onreëlmatigheid te kon noem.
He had to know that, or he knew that, or what he had to know was that he had to take me into his confidence that anything that happened or any irregularity that happened, that he had to inform me about that. Kwakuwukuthi kwakufanele azike ukuthi nokuma yini ke eyayenzekile futhi engazange yenzeke ngendlela noma ngendlela kwakufanele ukuthi yenzeke ngayo angitshele.
sonder dat daar enige idees in sy kop geplant word.
Without putting any ideas into his head, ngaphandle kokuthi nje ubusufaka ke noma yini ke ekhanda lakhe noma ke umfakele nje ama ideas ekhanda lakhe.
But with regard to irregularity, we are the only one who knew about or the context or the content of irregularity. That has never been explained to the deponent. That's my point. You're the only one who knew about irregularities.
Ek was nie bewus van enige onreëlmatigheid op daardie stadium nie, meneer.
I wasn't aware of any irregularity at that stage, sir. Ngangingazi ngalutho ke ekwangabe yenzeka ke engazange yenzeke ngendlela ngaleso sikhathi leso.
Can you get back, let's get to paragraph C.
This is not a trial and I'm not hearing any charge against you.
Akusukona ke lokhu ukuqhula kwecala futhi ke angilalelanga angizanga lana ke ukuzolalela icala noma amacala owethweswayo.
All right. That's very important. At the time, Ntanzi was interviewed by you, specifically on the paragraph 3, on paragraph C. Did he appear you as an accused person? Did he appear you as a suspect or any person who wanted to make a confession before you?
Ek verstaan nie u vraag nie.
I don't understand your
May I
question.
rephrase it? At that time, Ntanzi appeared before you on the 24th. Have you ascertained whether he has been charged or he was not charged or he was just an ordinary civilian who wanted to make a confession? Have you established it?
Ek het nie daai vrae in daardie opsig gevra nie, so ek was nie seker of hy al reeds aangekla was op die enigiets nie. Ek het hom hanteer asof dit 'n persoon is wat na my toe gekom het omdat hy bekentenis wou maak op wat hy ook al wou sê. Op daai stadium het ek nie eens geweet wat dit was nie. Maar
I
ek het
did
nie
not ask the question
vasgestel.
in that form or in that manner. So I wasn't aware or I didn't know as to whether he had been charged. I just took him as someone who came before me to make a confession. Ngaleso sikhathi ke ngangamazi ke noma wayesetheswe amacala noma cha ngangimthatha ke ukuthi nje umuntu oze kumina ke ofuna ke uzokhuluma.
But prior to the completion of the pro forma, did you converse or speak to the investigating officer of the case?
Ja, in sy teenwoordigheid toe ek weet nie of die ondersoekbeampte was nie, ek het maar aangeneem. Toe sergeant Mngomezulu vir my homself bekend gestel het en vir doeleindes van die voltooiing van die vorm ek hom gevra het vir die polisiestasie en die kasnommer, sou dit nie beskikbaar gewees het nie, sou ek net daar geskryf het, not available or unknown.
Yes, in his presence, that was at the time that when I spoke to Sergeant Vusumuzi Mukhane, that's when I made inquiries with regards to the police station as well as the case number. If it wasn't there, I would then just have written not available. Ngakhuluma ke naye ke she also said that I wasn't aware or I didn't know whether he was the investigating officer or what. Ngakhuluma ke naye uMukhane lona ke enkathi ke ngangibuza imininingwane yalo icala ukuthi police station yipi, i-case number yipi. Uma kuukuthi ayingekho ke ngangizobhala ke lapho ukuthi cha ayikho leyo mininingwane.
Met sekere konfessies of bekentenisse kan dit nie verskaf word nie, want daar's nie 'n dossier geopen of geregistreer nie en dan skryf ek niks in daar nie.
With certain or some confessions, it is that information is not there simply because maybe there is no docket that is no docket exists at that stage. So I would then not write that because it is not contained.
Met ander konfessies wat ek al hanteer het, is die persoon of is daar 'n dossier geopen, maar niemand is nog formeel aangekla nie. So met ander woorde, daar's 'n kasnommer, maar niemand is nog formeel op die saak aangekla nie. So ek gaan al reeds die inligting hê met die konfessie, maar die persoon kan of aangekla wees of nie aangekla wees nie.
With certain confessions, it is so that there is already a docket, but no one has yet been formally charged. So there would be some information. So it's either a person has been charged or a person has not yet been formally charged. Kwamanye ke amacala noma kwezinye izitatimende kuzothola ke ukuthi idocket yebo likhona ke kodwa akekho umuntu oseboshiwe.
In hierdie geval weet ek nie of hy wel al aangekla was of nie ten opsigte van die beskikbaarheid van die inligting van die dossier.
But in this particular case, I didn't know as to whether he had been charged or not with regards to the available information regarding this docket. Kodwa ke kuleli icala ke ngangazi ke ukuthi wayesethwesiwe yini noma wayesethweswe yini amacala.
Before we move on to paragraph 4, I think other paragraphs were reduced. And the other paragraph relates to a minor. But for the benefit of the public, does the taking of a confession prescribes a jurisdiction, a place where it's supposed to be taken?
Nee.
No. Ukuthathwa ke kwayo i-confession akusho ke noma ke achazi ukuthi kunendawo ethize ekufanele noma uma ngaphansi kwendawo ethize la ekufanele ukuthi ithathelwe khona.
Are you aware that the deponent was arrested at Rustenburg?
Nee.
No. Angazi ke noma angikwazi ke ukuthi wayeboshelwe eRustenburg.
Are you aware that the deponent was arrested on the 16th of June 2020?
Hy het my so meegedeel dat hy gearresteer was op die 16de Junie.
He informed me as such that he was arrested on the 16th of June. Wangitshela yena ke ukuthi waboshwa nge-16 zika June.
Let's move to paragraph 4. My Lord, I request an adjournment.